Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, you guys? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your NXT Takeover Portland review on Sunday night, February 16th, 2020. I'm in a loss for words, man. I'm really in a loss for words. That main event between Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole was a classic. And it was probably one of the top 5 greatest NXT Championship matches I think I've ever seen. And there's a lot of great NXT Championship matches that I've seen in my life. I've seen Adam Cole and Gargano Takeover New York, 2 out of 3 falls. I've seen Andrade Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano. I've seen Andrade Cien Almas versus Aleister Black. Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And tonight's match, freaking Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa, was a classic. And you're going to want to go back in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, even 20 years. You're going to want to go back and you're going to want to show your young children this match and tell them how great of a performance that Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa put on tonight for us. But something that we didn't expect to happen was Johnny Gargano get his nose in his business and hit Tommaso Ciampa with Goldie and cost him the match and take Ciampa's dreams away from him. And the crowd was shocked. I was shocked. I was shocked in my living room watching this match with my dad. And it was amazing. Watching this main event for 30 minutes with my dad and my brother was just an awesome feeling. It was an awesome feeling, and it was, I think, one of the best endings to a takeover since Johnny Gargano maybe won the championship from against Adam Cole. This show, I mean, what can you say? These shows always lived up to expectations, and I would say from top to bottom, this show was awesome. This was an awesome takeover, and NXT is truly one of the reasons why I watch pro wrestling today. And tonight's show makes you a wrestling fan, man. Shows like tonight are why we, the people, are pro wrestling fans. And I truly believe that. I want to get into this review, man. I don't want to keep bickering for a few minutes. I'm going to try to get this review under 30 minutes. Right? I took so many notes tonight. I felt like a friggin' analytic sitting in my chair just typing notes in my notepad about this show. It was unbelievable. Before I start, make sure you guys go check out this week's videos, the AEW Dynamite review, the NXT review. I did my NXT predictions on Friday for tonight's show. And check out yesterday's News and Rumors video as I go over John Cena coming back to SmackDown. John Cena's opponent was reportedly revealed as Elias. I'm not even going to go into that. I just want to talk about Takeover, man. So without further ado, let's start off talking about Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic that put on the show. This they set the bar high for tonight, man. They set the bar. So we get first before this match, we get a great performance from Poppy playing the two theme songs for NXT Takeover. And they get you really hyped for the show, man. I really love these performances, and hopefully we get one for a Tampa WrestleMania weekend. Because that show's going to be amazing. After the performance, though, we get Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic for the North America Championship. So after a short little sequence between them, Lee hits a Hurricane Rana on Dominic Dijakovic, and they both do a few shoulder tackles. Dijakovic gives a kick to Keith Lee. Lee catches Dijakovic in midair after Dominic Dijakovic goes over the top rope, but Dijakovic counters, and I believe he throws Keith Lee onto the apron. He gave him a suplex. So he gave him a suplex onto the apron, and Keith Lee fell very hard. Dijakovic takes it to a slower pace back at the ring. Lee gives Dijakovic punches and forearms to the corner. Lee gives a backbreaker into a German suplex. Very nice sequence. Lee Irish whips Dijakovic, and Dijakovic comes back and gives him a big boot. Dijakovic goes for a top rope dragon screw, I believe it was called. I'm not sure. I was trying to get my notes down. Believe that's what Nigel McGuinness said. I'm sorry. Dijakovic then blocks Keith Lee's double chops and gives Keith Lee a knee strike. Dijakovic slams Keith Lee's head to the turnbuckle a few times. Dijakovic gives Lee a avalanche, feast your eyes to the floor, or to the mat, and the crowd went wild for that. So these guys were tearing it up for the first 15 minutes, 13. And it's only going to get better there, man. It's only going to get better, because this match was freaking incredible. Lee gives Dijakovic a two-hand chop on the outside, not once, but twice, and he silenced the entire crowd until he gave him the double chop to Dijakovic. Keith Lee sits Dijakovic on the announcer's chair and gives him a chop back in the ring. Dijakovic counters the jackhammer. Dijakovic reverses a chokeslam, and so does Keith Lee. Dijakovic reverses I didn't put notes for the Spanish Fly. Jesus Christ, not the Spanish Fly, the Swanton. So they're on the outside. Dijakovic grabs a announcer's chair, sits Keith Lee on it, goes to the freaking top rope, and does a Swanton bomb onto Keith Lee. The guy is 6'7", and he's pulling off stunts, or he's pulling off a move like this. This was unbelievable, and I had no words after Dominic Dijakovic was able to pull this off. I had no words. I did not know what to say. I'm like, did this giant of a man who's 6'7" pull off a swanton bomb onto a guy who's sitting up? This is unreal, man. Dijakovic reverses a sit-out powerbomb, but moments later, Lee hits the sit-out powerbomb. Dijakovic kicks out, and I put in the notes that this match was freaking incredible. Dijakovic hits a Spanish Fly on Keith Lee. Lee reverses Feast Your Eyes, hits the jackhammer for the win, retains the NXT North American Championship. After the match, they shake hands, they hug, and Keith Lee helps Dominik Dijakovic up onto the top rope, and the crowd gives it a standing ovation. It absolutely deserved a standing ovation from the Portland crowd. This was freaking incredible to start off NXT Takeover Portland. The crowd was so hot for this. These guys put on great matches together, and this was probably their best match on the big Takeover stage for the NXT North American Championship. You couldn't have expected anything less, man. You couldn't have expected anything less. You know these guys were going to tear the house down, and the fact that they started out the show, I was like, man, whoever has to follow this, freaking good luck. Because this match was incredible. It was incredible. Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox in a street fight we moved on to next. I'm going to save time, so I'm going to go right to the finish. We got Nox going absolutely crazy. She's hitting steel chairs on Kai, steel chains. She gets her onto the top rope. She puts her head through a steel chair. She goes to the top rope. She's going to put Kai through the table. And then out of nowhere, Raquel Gonzalez from the Mae Young Classic comes out and attacks Tegan Nox. And the crowd was like, "Who are you? Who are you?" That was the chance we were getting. And pushes Kai off. And this table spot was horrible. So she choke slams Nox onto the table. Nox is up high, so she's up so high in the air. I think she hit back first onto the table, and I can only hope that Tegan Nox is okay after that table spot. That was brutal. That looked awful. But Dakota Kai got the win. And we'll see where this goes between these two ladies. I'm not sure where it's going to go, so should be interesting. It was a really good street fight, but a very underwhelming finish, in my opinion. People did not know who this woman was, and the table spot was just awful. It was awful. But a good street fight nonetheless. I didn't even bother taking notes for this one because I know I would not be able to keep up with all the action. Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. You know, what do you expect these guys to do? I even tweeted it out. Are you surprised? Are you surprised that we had a... Excuse me. Ooh. Are you surprised that we had this great match between Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor? Now, just like the main event, I loved how the pace was for this match. It was very slow in the beginning, not balls to the wall, not fast the entire match. It was nice and slow. And then, the freaking last 10 to 12 minutes, boom, kicked in. The action was tense. We got the Johnny Gargano doing the double drop kick to the barricade to Balor. We got sling blades on the outside and DDTs and suicide dives and NXT chants from the Portland crowd. But what really Finn Balor took control of the match was when Johnny Gargano was going for the DDT on the outside, and he let Finn Balor go, and he took off. He was gonna put him through the announcer's table, but Balor pushed Gargano. And Balor is on the other announce table. He's on the English announce table. Runs through the Spanish announce table and does the shotgun dropkick onto Gargano. And Gargano goes onto the steel ramp. He throws Gargano back into the ring. Gives him a huge coup de grace into a 1916. And Finn Balor gets a huge victory over Johnny Gargano in a freaking great match. I mean, like I said, what were you going to expect from Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor? It was pro wrestling at its best, man. It was pro wrestling at its best. When you have two of the best wrestlers, that ever stepped foot in NXT, you know you're going to get a hell of a match between Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor. I even tweeted out, are we even surprised that two of the best wrestlers to ever step foot in NXT just delivered a great match on a Takeover stage? These two will be looked at as two of the greatest wrestlers in NXT. And then NXT Takeover is halfway done. It's been a fantastic show. The crowd ate this up. This was awesome. This was a great match. And Finn Balor got the much-needed victory. This was the right decision to give Finn Balor the win over Johnny Gargano. And we're not done with Johnny Gargano yet, man. We'll talk about him at the end of the show. But next up, we had Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for the NXT Women's Championship. This was a really good match, in my opinion. The final few minutes made it really good. How did we get there? We'll go over it right now. Belair takes down Rhea Ripley to start the match and locks in a headlock. Nice and simple. Nice and simple start to the match. Rhea hits a clothesline on Belair and attacks Belair on the turnbuckle. Rhea does a series of chops to the corner. Belair slams Ripley to the mat. Belair gives Ripley a suplex to Ripley for a kick out of 2. Bianca puts a submission hold in on Rhea Ripley. I don't remember what it was. Too much happened on the show tonight for me to remember a submission hold that Bianca Belair put in. Ripley gives Belair a backdrop, and then moments later, she gives Belair a jumping drop kick. Ripley gives Belair an electric chair for a kick out at 2. Belair goes for a roll up, and Ripley kicks out at 2. Belair. I just got lost. Belair gives Ripley a nice spine buster, and Ripley kicks out. Belair and Ripley give each other a series of slaps, and then Belair slaps Ripley with her hair, which echoed throughout Portland at the Mata Center. Freaking that hair, man, of Bianca Belair comes into factor during the matches. I saw a tweet during the show. What's worse? A slap from Bianca Belair's hair or Walter's chops? I'm gonna have to go with Walter's chops, because I feel like I'd be fine. Take a slap in the hair from Bianca Belair, but man, if I take a chop from Walter, I'm gonna be dead. I will be dead. You will never see me again. Ripley reverses KOD, drop kicks Belair midair, but moments later, Belair spears Rhea Ripley. Now, this could have been horrible. And thank God nothing seriously happened to Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley gets dumped over the top rope. Hold on. Rhea Ripley gets dumped over the top rope, and she goes so high in the air, she lands with both feet touching on the ground, and she slips. Thank God that Rhea Ripley did not tear a ligament in her knee. She didn't tear her Achilles. She didn't tear her ACL, MCL. Thank God she didn't hurt anything, because she seriously could have hurt herself in that instance. That was a terrible decision by Rhea Ripley. And, that's a young rookie mistake. That is a young rookie mistake from Rhea Ripley. Thank goodness she didn't tear anything in her knee. Moments later, Belair does a dive over the top rope. Ripley slams Belair onto the steps. Moments later, Rhea Ripley hits a Riptide and defeats Bianca Belair. This was a good match. Good match for the NXT Women's Championship. I guess the crowd was a little tired after just seeing Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor put on a great match. But, this was good. And then we got the predictable attack from Charlotte Flair, the resident android. Shout out to JD for that one. But Charlotte Flair comes in, beats up Rhea Ripley, gives her a natural selection. She said, "I thought about it, and I will see you at WrestleMania." So, it's confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. At WrestleMania, we are getting Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. And from now until April 5th, at WrestleMania 36, we can only pray that Rhea Ripley is going to be put over by Charlotte Flair. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to see Charlotte Flair as the NXT Women's Champion. Nobody. Moving on, the Broserweights versus the Undisputed Era. I was a bit concerned how the placing of this was on the card. They did this after the NXT Women's Championship match, but it turned out to be really good. And the match, it's a great tag team match. What would you expect from Broserweights and Undisputed Era besides putting on a classic tag team wrestling match for us? It was amazing, and lots of great things happened. I didn't take notes for this match, so I'm probably going to forget most of the moves, but the Broserweights won. The Broserweights won the NXT Tag Team Champions, which was the right decision. There is nobody else for the Undisputed Era to face in the tag team division on NXT, but they'll probably be getting their rematch either on NXT TV or at the next Takeover WrestleMania weekend. Who knows? We will see what the Undisputed Era do regarding the tag team titles. But this was a great tag team match. Portland went wild when the Broserweights won the NXT Tag Team Championships. It was a great moment. The guys totally deserve it. They've been one of the best things on NXT leading up to TakeOver Portland. And now they are the NXT Tag Team Champions. And also, they came out the shirts that said, "How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish?" I laughed my ass off, man. Again, Matt Riddle's hilarious. Matt Riddle is comedy gold the past few weeks on NXT. How can you not love Matt Riddle? And I found a picture of this, if I can freaking find it. I'm going to have to scroll and scroll. This picture of Bobby Fish right here, it made me laugh and I thought I would share it with you guys here on the channel. I gotta move on because I gotta talk about this main event, man. I have to talk about this main event. Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole. You know what? Let's just go over this. How do we get to the finish? And then we'll talk about the entire match when I'm done. So in the beginning, we get chants of Psycho Killer Adam Cole. Psycho Killer Adam Cole. Break out in the Portland crowd. Ciampa mocks Adam Cole's pose. The Adam Cole Bebe pose. Ciampa locks in a headlock on Cole. Ciampa slaps Cole in the face and gets back on the headlock. Ciampa blocks the post and eats a kick from Adam Cole. Adam Cole mocks Ciampa, and Ciampa gets pissed by throwing him to the steps and the post. Sits Adam Cole in the chair, and Ciampa does his... You gotta love Tommaso Ciampa, man. You gotta love it. Ciampa gives Cole a basement drop kick. Ciampa hangs Cole over the steel barricade and gives him a huge knee. Ciampa gives Cole another knee strike, and he's standing near the barricade. There's some dude behind him that's wearing an NXT for Life shirt. Goes to give him a high five. Ciampa grabs this guy's head, his bald head, and he kisses his bald head. And this guy is going ecstatic that Tommaso Ciampa kissed his bald head. I think he is the biggest nerd I've seen in a while on a wrestling television show. He was so happy when he got kissed on the head by Tommaso Ciampa. I laughed. That was pretty fun. But what was not funny was Cole giving Tommaso Ciampa a suplex back first onto the announcer's table. And that made me cringe. And after that, Tommaso was holding his head, which made me really nervous. Because anytime Tommaso Ciampa is holding his head now, I get concerned because of his neck problems. Please don't hold your head that much, Ciampa, because you're going to make me nervous as hell. Cole gives Ciampa a backstabber, and Ciampa grabs his head again. Cole looking for Ushigoroshi and hits a Enziguri instead. Cole goes for a Panama Sunrise, but Ciampa hits a drop kick. Ciampa hits a series of clotheslines and then a German suplex. After that, Ciampa hits a powerbomb on Cole, but Cole kicks out at 2. Cole gives Ciampa a jumping knee strike into the Ushigoroshi. Ciampa gives Cole a white noise off of the top rope. And Cole kicks out at 2. The same spot from NXT Takeover War Games when Ciampa and Cole jumped off the cage and Cole went through 2 tables and Ciampa secured the victory for his team at War Games. Ciampa powerbombs Cole onto the announcer's table, and then Ciampa powerbombs Cole through the announcer's table this time, and gives Cole a running knee. He throws Cole back into the ring. He gives him a running knee. Ciampa gives Cole a back body drop onto the knees, and Adam Cole kicks out at 2. So that was an awesome sequence from Tommaso Ciampa right there. He was a man possessed in this sequence. He power bombs Adam Cole through the table, gives him a knee strike, does the back body onto the knees, and Cole still kicks out. Unbelievable stuff right there. Ciampa and Cole trade a series of forearms. Cole goes for a suicide dive, and Ciampa hits a jumping knee. Cole hits a second Ushigoroshi, and Ciampa once again kicks out. Cole hits the last shot, and Ciampa rolls his way to the ropes. He's literally hugging the ropes. Ciampa counters Pana's Sunrise and hits a white noise onto the apron. Moments later, Cole jumps off the announcer's table and hits a Panama Sunrise to Tommaso Ciampa on the outside floor. Again, Ciampa grabbed his neck. Ciampa hits a draping DDT, and then fairy tale ending, and man, I thought this was it. And Adam Cole kicked out, and I lost it. I'm like, holy shit. Like I can't believe Adam Cole just kicked out of that. Man, Cole has a crossface, and then Ciampa gives Cole his own crossface. Cole grabs the rope, and then Roderick Strong comes in to interfere the referee, and then Fish and O'Reilly attack Ciampa, hit the high-low, throw Ciampa back into the ring. Adam Cole covers him, and Tommaso Ciampa kicks out at 2! Tommaso Ciampa prevents the high-low. He kicks out of Fish and O'Reilly's high-low. Ciampa takes out Yui all by himself and gets hit by the last shot, and he kicks out again. Ciampa kicks out, and then Johnny Gargano comes out. He's supporting Ciampa. Ciampa gets hold of the NXT Championship. The ref is knocked down, by the way, so he's out cold. Johnny grabs the NXT Championship away from Tommaso Ciampa. He looks at the NXT Championship. Ciampa looks at Johnny like, what are you doing? Why are you grabbing the NXT Championship? And Johnny Gargano hits the NXT Championship onto the skull of Tommaso Ciampa. Adam Cole is laying on top of Ciampa. The ref gets back up, and Adam Cole retains the NXT Championship in a classic NXT Championship match, which ultimately left me with no words. I was shocked, and the best thing about this was nobody saw it coming. Just like when Ciampa turned heel on Johnny Gargano in 2017, nobody saw it coming. And nobody saw it coming here either. Just freaking, the pace of this match was on point. The storytelling, oh my god. Ciampa and Adam Cole told a fantastic story. This was one of the best story-told matches I think I have seen in a very long time. In a very long time. The story was amazing of how much Ciampa wanted the NXT Championship back. He wanted Goldie, but Adam Cole's going to do anything he could to keep the NXT Championship away from Ciampa. And then freaking Johnny Gargano at the end. That bitch hits the NXT Championship onto Ciampa. Just freaking everything about this match was on point. And man, freaking Johnny Gargano's got some haters now, boy. He's gonna have to explain himself on NXT. And you know, I haven't watched NXT over AEW since I think November, before Survivor Series. I think this Wednesday I might have to watch NXT over AEW. I might have to, even though AEW has a pay-per-view worthy lineup on Wednesday night. I really want to see the fallout of Takeover. Plus, you got Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong, and Leo Rush versus Jordan Devlin for the Cruiserweight Championship. So that should be one great NXT episode on Wednesday night. Like I said, this was a classic. Where do I think this is going? I think we're going to get Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano at Takeover Tampa in the main event. Loser leaves NXT. What stipulation do I think it's going to be? I don't even want to predict it. I don't even want to predict it right now. What an amazing NXT TakeOver Portland show, man. That is my NXT TakeOver Portland review for you guys right here on the Big Fight Fuel channel. Thank you for watching this video so much. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel, as you're going to have the regular schedule next week. I don't know what I'm going to do Wednesday night. I might be doing NXT Wednesday night right here on the Big Fight Fuel channel, and AEW on Thursday. Then News and Rumors. And then the next week after that, we got AEW Revolution and WWE Super Letdown. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like this video with a super kick, comment down below what you thought of tonight's takeover. Please, I would love to know your thoughts. Share this video on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Joseph Conlon. Follow Eddie on Twitter at Eddie Mullins. This has been one hell of a review, one hell of a night, one hell of an NXT TakeOver show. I'm wrestled out, man. I'm going to go get some rest and prepare for Raw tomorrow night. Have a great night, guys.